Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special unboxing, something that came in from Tactile Knife Company and something from White Mountain Knives. So let's go ahead and take a look. Today I'll be opening, oh I got some of that ink that I wrote on there on me. Guess it didn't dry yet. I'll be opening up with my QSP Hedgehog slip joint. So let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, we'll move this over there. Put the receipt over there. We got that. Oh, we got a Tactile Knife Company sticker. Haven't had one of those before. I'm going to put that right there. And then we're going to open this right here. Not extremely secure packaging, but you know, there we go. And lo and behold, a little Tactile Knife Company thing here. We'll save the peanuts for later. Those would be great. Delicious snack for later on. Just kidding, of course. Don't eat those. Don't eat the peanuts. All right, so Tactile Knife Company. Go on my wall of stickers because I don't have one. And we'll open this first here. All right, here we go. This is the CPM-MagnaCut titanium. This right here is an M390. Actually, I'm probably going to need that for that right there. So let's hold that out. But let's open this first. Okay, so we have a certificate of authenticity, hardness 61. Not ideal, but not terrible. For MagnaCut, would love it for it to be a little bit higher. Here we go. Very nice. Definitely not as strong as, yeah, definitely not as strong as the QSP. I like that a lot, but very, very thin. You can see that right there. Look at the thinness of that. USA made, titanium handle. Does have a lanyard. I'm not a big fan of lanyards. Might take that off, but yeah. Well, you know, that's interesting. I can put my finger on there for a little security. See, it doesn't open up really easily. Pretty sharp, very thin, absolutely. So as far as hardness, I would, oh no, it's a little gritty. I thought it was like loose. Okay, so that's moving. All right. You know, not a super expert when it comes to slip joints, but I'm learning. I did want to get one of these and had a chance to get this on sale, so I was pretty excited about that. Let's go ahead and open this. So this is the slip joint, the leather slip for that. It goes right like that. And I guess you can see in the lanyard here, it makes sense when you do that, to pull that out. It's not super sharp. It's not dull, but it's not super sharp. Let's look at that edge. A little short on that side. A little bit longer on that side. Not quite even. That is a little surprising. Longer here, a little shorter over here. Very short over here. Almost felt like this was a rushed one. All right, I thought these were like cutouts. That's interesting. That feels different. Okay. Interesting. All right, I'm just checking this out. I'm not familiar with this one. It just seemed like it would be a little snappier than that. It's not super snappy. This is made in the USA, made here in Fort Worth, Texas. So I thought this was a little cutout, but I guess not. It's just for a little traction, I guess. Okay. I'll have to check that out. So I don't know about you guys. When you look at this, it looked like it was a cutout, but it's not. It's like something in there. It almost feels like, I didn't know there was actually something put in there. So that's interesting. All right. And here's the slip, the little leather slip that goes with it. Kind of like I have my little slip here for my Hedgehog. Now, you can see, nice full fit. Definitely, this is going to be a little bit thicker. We're looking around the same length there. That one is going to be a little longer slip. Now opened, we are looking at probably, almost the same. Yeah, there we go. So I have large hands. Let me see. Get full 4-finger grip. Yeah, I can get that in there. It does stay in there. We'll have to see how that strops up. See if that strops up pretty nicely. It is a little clip point, as opposed this is more like a cleaver style right here. Let's see if I have my cloth here. So, and then over here we have nice little cloth here as well. Feels like it's sharp, but it's not. Doesn't feel crazy sharp or anything. I don't know if that's machined, milled, or what, but that's interesting. It feels a little different. All right, so that is the Bear. I believe that's what they pronounce Bear. Some people call it the Baxter, but it is pronounced Bear as I understand it. It does have the little lock back. You can see that coming up right there. It's not as hard as the Hedgehog for sure, but it does have a walk-in talk. And it felt like it was a little gritty at first, so maybe we'll put a little oil in there. I'm assuming you can. You guys let me know, those of you who are slip joint experts. Does it look like it had, yeah, it looks like it had some weight relief in there on the scales. That's cool. It looks like steel liners inside, maybe, yeah. Yeah, very cool. Definitely a nice little slicey, kind of a slicey thin blade. So, very cool. Definitely rounded all the way around the edges. I like that a lot. Looks like T8s all the way around here. Captive pivot right there, T8 right there as well. Definitely can take this apart. Has a pivot pin back there that this lanyard loop works into well. Nice little braided section back here. Let's see, how is this centered? Are we pretty dead nut centered? We appear to be. And how is the tip? Very thin, slicey, obviously. You can see that. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to put this away. So we'll put this over here, get that out of the way, and then we'll take a look at this leather slip right here. Let me smell it. Yep, definitely a nice leather. Thick, kind of heavy stock there. Nice stitching all the way around. Don't know what GSD means. Get stuff done, I don't know. Sometimes that seems to be a catchphrase. And then this goes in here just like that. Nicely in the pocket. Should patina up nicely. This is a black one as opposed to a brown one. I'm going to go for a little different color. Definitely a softer detent for sure. I thought it would be a little snappier, but I mean, I guess that makes sense for a very thin, light blade like this. So, very nice. When I first opened it, it felt like it was a little gritty. And I feel like I'm waiting for something to, yeah, become a little gritty again. But no, it's fine. This was a pretty good little acquisition. I would love to see the MagnaCut, especially MagnaCut, be at least 62, 63. That would have been nice. Wish they would have done that. But for the price that I got for it, I can't complain. It is pretty nice. Yeah, everything's nothing sharp and uncomfortable. There's no really sharp edges on top. Here, don't know if I can feel that. And these are pretty, this is got to be phosphor bronze washers. You've got the pin back in there, which is where, yeah, you see the pin stops right there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little pin in there. Can we get the light in there? Yeah, there you go. You can see a little pin in there. And when it comes down, it stops right here. That's the pin stop that it hits right there. So it doesn't get messed up. It does appear pretty centered. Now, I will say, it looks like the blade grind is not quite perfectly even. It looks like it's a little bit like that. So it makes it look like it's going a little to the right. That is interesting. Yeah, but it's very comfortable. Very comfortable. I still can't get over that. I thought this was a hole. I thought this was like a little nick, and it feels almost like it's got like some sandpaper on there, so you can get your nails on there. I mean, you can file your nails probably on this, it seems like. That is interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Very cool. I'm processing this. I'm not sure, you know, I don't open a lot of slip joints, so I don't really know what to look for, what to say. I do like it. I love the texturing on here, this nice milling that's on here. Reminds me of a lot of my Tactile Knife Company pin. My pin's a little dirty, but you know, I have this one right here. And then it reminds me of my dread eye, but the dread eye doesn't have any texture. It does have texturing on here, which you can feel on that. I think this is the Richlight kind of handle scales, but this is titanium for sure. Got 2 screws on one side with a captive pivot, one pivot here, and 2 screws on this side. So, yeah. Must have been a little dirty when I first got it because there's something gritty in there. Definitely feels a lot better now. Definitely a softer walk and talk for sure. Okay, so now, oh yeah, listen to that. There's something really, really gritty in there. Interesting. Very, very gritty. I don't know if this is stuff coming out of there, but you can hear it. Super, super gritty. All right, very cool. We should most likely keep this, I think. Let me grab my tools because I'm going to take a look at that real quick. Let's take a look at that. Just because that's what I do. So, should be T8s. So we'll grab that. T8 right here. Let's just make sure of that. Yeah, T8s. All right, so let's go ahead and take this off. Ooh, that's a nice tight fit. Definitely a nice tight fit on that screw. Dang. Ooh. No doubt about that. Can you hear that grittiness? Super gritty. All right. Tell you what, I'm going to get a little leverage on this. All right, let me grab, I have a little pry-bar tool, plastic one that I can use. Interesting. don't know how these come off. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. We're going to cut ourselves. So, there we go. Need a Band-Aid. Oh my goodness. This thing is not going to come off, is it? I'm going to have to figure out how we take this off. Let me put a Band-Aid on real quick, guys. Figured that would happen. Don't know if you'll even see this video because I don't think I can even get this thing apart. I don't know how that's going to work. Like that. Maybe like that. There we go. Whew, that was hard. That was really, really hard to get apart. My goodness. Boy, is it dirty. Here we go. Wow. All right. That was a challenge. I don't think I've ever had that much difficulty taking something apart like that before. certainly is dirty. That's probably where all that grittiness came from. So if you've never taken a slip joint apart before, and maybe this pains you to see this, but I wanted to take it apart. It looked like it could be disassembled, and so I was going to disassemble it, whether it wanted to or not. So there we go. Now, I don't know if you're not supposed to do that, but I did. Because it was dirty, and it was gritty, and it made a lot of noise. And I did not care for that. And you can see the blade right here, the back of it. It bit me too. It's too bad. Well, that's my first slip joint I've ever taken apart. Maybe my last, I don't know. But boy, that was dirty. This was a brand new clean cloth here. You can see all the dirt on there already. Okay, so that's the one that's countersunk. Okay, so that's where these screws go. Interesting. Looking for a polished side. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my polishing cloth. And we're going to polish these a little bit here. I think I'm going to put a little bit of oil here on the lock back. I'm going to use the 85 weight oil on this. It's a little heavier pressure than like cage ball bearings, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so this video is going to be edited quite a bit. So I took this apart. It had some pins right here. It had a pin right here and a pin right here. That's actually for the blade to stop on. It was super gritty and dirty. It was centered, but now it's not quite as centered. So I don't know how we're going to fix that, but let's see if we can adjust that a little bit. Okay, now it's centered. All right, so it was just a little too loose. Okay. I will say, the walk and the talk is a little crisper now. I do like that. Now, what happened is the pins separated here and created a little space in there.
And you can sort of still see it here. I don't know if you can see that. So you can get enough light going through here. You see that back there? There's the spaces. And it was really far apart here. And I've still been trying to get some pressure, vertical pressure, to push that down. And I feel like the more I push, the better it's going to be. Now I'm going to be real careful. I don't want to bend the titanium scales. So I've been, very, very cautiously right where the pin is. And I've got to make sure I know exactly where that pin is. Yeah, so the pin's right there. And very gently, very carefully, just a little bit of pressure to see if I can work that pin back into its, yeah, it's pretty darn close. I just don't want to damage the knife, right? But man, boy, I tell you what, it was super gritty. Super, super gritty. All right, we're just trying to work that in. At some point, I feel like it's going to be in there like I want it to be. All right. Nice. Now I did take the lanyard off because I had a hard time working with that, getting this pin in, because this pin fell out and I had to hunt for it on the floor. It was a really small pin. It's pretty close to being even on the back again. So we're pretty much there. So I think what I'm going to do is, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save the lanyard loop for the next time. So let me put that back in here. I'm not always a lanyard guy anyway, so quite frankly, it would have worked on this, but taking it apart and putting it back on was a nightmare. So unless I learn how to braid that thing, yeah, it's not happening. But man, you had to really use my little tools here, my little pry tools, and I'm glad I have these things because they do work really well. That was about the only godsend, and if I should have used it sooner, I wouldn't have probably cut myself. So let's see how this looks in the slip now. So we'll put this in here like that. Easy to get out. Yeah, nice. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm put a little Locktite on here. I did have to use my little pliers. I might get another pair of pliers, one that I can have more even leverage. We'll try that later on. I want to be real careful though. I don't want to damage the scales. These are titanium. And I think I'm okay so far. Yeah. I just wish it was a little more flush fit. I wish these pins weren't so unbelievably tight in there. It's just kind of crazy. But that does tell you their tolerances. Now, I assume they probably have some sort of machine, something that they do to assemble these. Probably can put the pressure very nicely. So I suspect that's what they have. So we're going to put just a little bit of Locktite on here. And then we're going to get this puppy nice and locked on here because we don't want that pivot to walk. Now, I don't super glue my stuff, okay? Make sure I'm nice and centered. There we are. Let's see. How are we in there? We're good. All right, we're going to put a little bit of oil down here. A little oil there. A little oil there. Dead center. Very good. Works really nicely. It's a little more solid in there, I think, too. I do like that a lot. So that's really cool. Let's see here. Let's see what angle were we at. Are we about 17 maybe? 20 degrees? I don't know. Let's see. I do like to have it sharp. This was pretty dull coming out. That was a little disappointing too. Now, I don't know if this was an older one that's been around with White Mountain knives for a long time. Maybe Justin didn't get a chance to sell it, and one of the reasons why I was able to get a little deal on there. I didn't actually read it. Sometimes I buy things that have issues because, he'll get returns, and then he'll offer a nice discount, which I think is pretty fair. Actually, I think it's very fair. It's really nice if you're okay with certain things. And, like if you get an off-center knife, some people, that's a big deal, and they don't know how to fix it. But if you're okay fixing an off-center knife yourself, or maybe it's just never going to be centered, but you're okay because you're going to make it a user, that's fine. Maybe you have a missing screw, but you have other screws you can easily replace it with, and you're not too worried about the exact look or something like that. maybe, maybe there's a scratch, but you know you're going to scratch it up once you start using it. That's not a big deal. So yeah, there's things like that. All right, so we are getting pretty sharp here. That's nice. It does come back to a nice edge. Now, being the MagnaCut is at 61, it'll be pretty easy to sharpen. I will tell you that. I do know when MagnaCut's a little lower HRC, it's kind of like sharpening S35VN or 14C28N or even 154CM. So there is that. And that's pretty nice. I do like to make sure it's sharp. Yeah, it's okay. It's almost there. I just like to have it crazy sharp when I first get a knife. So we're almost there. We'll just do a few more strops and we should be good to go. I'll fast forward through this. Yeah, nice and dead centered. There we go. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So let me put some of this stuff away. Probably skip through this as well. If you didn't figure it out, taking a Bexar apart, at least the one I have, was a challenge. Maybe you guys already knew that. Maybe some of you guys are like, is he going to do that? No, don't do it, don't do it. Well, too late. I did it, and I reassembled it. So, if you've done it and there's easier ways, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know. If you've never done it because you knew it was going to be impossible, let me know. Let me know what you think. You think it was a decent first attempt or not? Love to find out from you guys. Yeah, do let me know. So here is the Bexar with a nice leather slip. I think that stands for get stuff done, right? We'll just say that. And here we are with the knife fully extended, and I will kind of put the two here together like this. Get a nice close-up. There you go. I'm going to do a little look at the back, which is pretty much the same, but there you go. And then I'll zoom in a little bit here for a quick zoom. You can see that's like not all the way cut out. I thought that was interesting. And here's the scale. You can see the back is pretty much fully reassembled. Might have a slight gap compared to what it was when I first had it. Here's the scale over here. And here's the inside. Let's see if we can get a little light in there. See where the pins are. And those are the ones that were the most challenging. And then here's the bar in the back. This is part of that slip joint lock. There. Everything came back together pretty nicely. So I'm pretty happy. Yeah, and so here we are. We'll do a little zoom right there. And we'll get a nice little close-up of this. How about that? Nice little zoom. So you can see that. Pretty cool little knife. Yeah, my second slip joint, I did it. I did a second slip joint. Still want a Barley. Want that Devo Knives one. That one looks pretty cool. But there you go. Very cool. A little oil on there, but that's all right. That oil's going to work its way in. And then that pivot's going to lock in there nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And this will be my carry. So I'll be able to switch out between my two slippies here. Got my Hedgehog here, which has a nice walk and talk, pretty crisp, pretty stout. Does work really well. Got a little lint in there. No blade play. Nice and flush in the back. So, very cool. And that's that one. And handmade in USA by Duty's Daggers. And this one's made in the USA, I believe, by Tactile Knife Company. So I do have two Tactile Knife Company knives and a pen now. So definitely have a few of their products. Would very, very, very much like to get my hands on a one of those archers. But, we'll see. Maybe in time. But there you go, man. Pretty nice. We'll say that it is good size slip joint as far as that. I get a full grip, very comfortable, rounded everywhere. The grittiness is now gone that I had before. Ooh, it was gritty. So that's really nice. Nice and centered. Everything works really well. That lock back is a little snappier. I like that as well. So I think it just had some, you know, manufacturing dirt and stuff inside of it and took care of that. Was a bit of an effort. I will tell you, you're going to need something to pry that off with, but definitely worth it if you had to do it. I don't think it's impossible. I do think it's a little more challenging than I expected, for sure. Right? And then it's stropped up really nice. So that's kind of cool. Can walk and talk a little bit better. I do like that. I will say it's a beautiful thin grind. It does pop in nicely, nice and centered. All that stuff works really well. I was able to reassemble it and didn't damage it, so that's really nice. I was worried I was going to do that. Love the texture. The milling on here is always a fun thing with Tactile Knife Company. They do an outstanding job on that. This is MagnaCut. So there we go. And let's just double check that, make sure it didn't. I did open and close it quite a bit. I'm just going to make sure it didn't walk on me a little bit, because it hasn't really set yet. Yeah, it hasn't walked on me, so we're good. Overnight, I'll let that sit, and I'll be good to go. But very, very cool little slip joint. If any of you guys have one of these, any thoughts, comments on it, let me know. I said I would never do slip joints, but man, this works just really nice in the pocket. I got to admit, it is nice to have something like this, where it's very clandestine, very nice and discreet to use. Very, very nice to have in the pocket when you don't want to, you know, if you have a big other knife that you don't want to mess up. There's a pretty robust leather sheath right here, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And hey, I'm sorry about the editing and zooming past a lot of the stuff, because it was crazy. I had to take a break. I had to go do a few things, and finally found the pin that I dropped. So yeah, it was an interesting one for sure. All right, well, thanks so much for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you found this fun, interesting, informative, or entertaining, or worthwhile, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel. Allows the channel to grow, allows the channel to do more things, and ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you, especially to you guys who watch the videos, who like, who subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And then if you haven't already, maybe hit that notification button so you can be notified of future content. And to all you channel members out there, a big shout out, big thank you, thank you, thank you. We're at 99 channel members as of this video. I am humbled and blown away and excited. That is just amazing. You guys are awesome. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do for this channel if it weren't for you guys. Matter of fact, I was just able to restock up on some giveaways coming in. I'm super excited about that. Yeah, we're getting close to the big 4K giveaway. Now, if you see this video down the road, I may have already surpassed 4K a while ago, and that would be cool. That would be awesome. I would love that. But we're getting close here, and I'm super excited about that. Definitely going to have a nice, fun giveaway for that. So, again, thanks so much for watching today. Really do appreciate you guys. And subscribers, if you are interested maybe in becoming a channel member, check the description down below. There's different tiers. Would love to have you. Do give a sticker to everybody who just becomes a channel member if you haven't had one before. And if you become an Uber nerd, you get a special collector's sticker. And I do try to produce some special content for you guys, some exclusive content. So I definitely want to do that. It's been a little crazy at work, so I am behind on that. But know that you mean the world to me, and I'm very appreciative to every one of you guys. Sometimes just having a channel is hard, and I appreciate your support, so thank you. Hey, if you haven't had a chance to check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives, would you please mind going over there and taking a look and maybe subscribing to my channel over there, my page. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.